What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fire, Cheat Saber. We're going to be talking through this 6-game MLB slate. I'm actually taking off shortly after this to go to the Dodger game, which will be fun. And so I think it's like a pretty straightforward, at least with what I want to do in terms of what we talked about earlier. I'm curious to hear what you've been getting and where you're at with this slate.
Well, I'm just running my stuff now, and the interesting thing about it is that we only have the early game sets of lineups in.
Yeah, I know. It's a little weird that we haven't had any of the late ones yet.
Especially the Dodgers, we don't have Mookie's like legit questionable, isn't he?
I think everybody is, especially on Mondays. I just think there's going to be some shakeups in most of those lineups as there were with the early ones. So I'm expecting it.
So I just ran it. I'm curious what. Let me take a look. I mean, I imagine I'm going to be getting White Sox and as
a slate, yeah.
Let me just see. So running it just the normal way. Let me just see what we have here. Okay. First of all, pitching wise, we'll build up to it.
Yeah.
Pitching wise, it seems pretty standard. I get 50% Flaherty, 50% Ryan, and then a little hoodoos. Then like 20% Cannon and 20% Tyler Anderson.
Yeah.
And 20% Severino. I did sneak in. Remember, I'm playing 150 in the knuckleball, so I'm gonna get some guys, right?
Yeah.
So I did sneak in 6 lineups of the Kolek.
Yeah.
And let's see the stacks. I'm afraid to look.
I got 2.
Wow, they're still the same. All the Mets.
Yeah, they love the Mets today.
And the Dodgers.
Yeah, I have Flaherty and Ryan as my 2 highest owned, and then it's a pretty big drop off for me. And then you get like basically the same amount of like Severino, May, Webb, Tyler Anderson, Brady Singer, getting little bits of all of them. In my high buy-ins, I will probably mostly stick with the main guys, but I'll probably end up with a Dustin May and something, and I'll probably end up with Brady Singer and something. And then as far as stacks go, I have the Dodgers the highest owned, the Minnesota after that, followed by Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Angels, and Detroit, and the A's. And I am a little more spread out in terms of offenses like today, like 20 to 30. Dodgers at 37% are my highest owned stack. So it's a little bit spread out for me on DraftKings right now.
On FanDuel, running it as normal, I have Ryan and Flaherty top, but not dominating. I mean, Ryan 28, Flaherty 20, and then of all things, the next highest owned I have on FanDuel is Singer. That's 16% of that. And then on the stack side on FanDuel, I'm a little more standard. I have Minnesota, my top owned, followed by Detroit and the Dodgers, and then the Mets and the A's. So FanDuel, I'm a little more standard. DraftKings a little more, Met centric. But what's good about the being Met centric and Mets Dodger centric again is that you can you can gauge what up. You know what I mean? Like from the early games. Like if the Reds just go freaking ballistic somehow, and you need to like do some funny business, then. By the way, why don't we have the Reds?
I do. The Reds are my 3rd highest owned.
Okay.
But on FanDuel, I actually don't have as much of them. On FanDuel, I got to Minnesota, the A's, the Mets, Detroit, Angels, Dodgers in that order. And then my pitching it shouldn't be this spread out. I mean, in my big buy-in is going to be one of Ryan or Flaherty, and I'm playing 2 over there. And then Cannon and Severino. I don't know. I'm not changing much on FanDuel. I'm sort of letting the projections roll a little bit more. And then I'll just hand build my 2 big ones. So they're giving me a lot of the Cannon. So I'll take some shots with it. I think it's worth it. It's a 6-game slate. May as well take some chances. But I do think that there's something to that Logan Webb quality start thing where I said I'd use Ryan or Flaherty. I think I use Logan Webb in one of my big buy-ins on FanDuel. I do think that's a pretty significant gap on the quality start, and even the win rate, he's 3rd. So I think it makes a lot of sense to use him. And also, we'll see what San Diego's lineup looks like. It's Monday, so you always get different lineups. It might affect things a little bit. But I did have to give a shout out real quick to Kobe Forel. We know him. He's been a member with us off and on for a long time. He mostly stays with us for basketball. but he two-way chopped the or maybe it was a three-way chop, but I think it was a two-way chop of the last lottery for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow,
a pretty big one. It was like 56,000 or something. So shout out to him because he doesn't play the same stakes or max enter or anything like that. So it's nice to see him win that. Also to our guy who took down the that we were talking about earlier, the NASCAR stuff. Who I hadn't personally met him before. Craft 36422. Good job for him, and that's a pretty ridiculous ROI to put up $140 and make a 15,000, a little over 15,000. So.
Yeah, Brandon thought you were going to hop in there with him yesterday for the.
Oh no! I mean, we talked about today on our company call. I told him that if I could, I would let him know, and I yesterday, unfortunately, I couldn't. I was out running errands for some family stuff. The variance never ends.
No, you have 74,000 people in your family.
I know it's a shame, but this is for my last remaining grandmother.
Oh, no.
So
is that the other grandfather's wife or no?
No. It's
your father? No, not your father's mother. Your mother's mother.
My mother's mother.
Okay.
And she's really, I mean, she's coolest, smartest she's her. That's the thing that's crazy for people getting older. Sometimes, like when they're like. Everything is so as sharp as ever. She remembers things from 30 years ago. She'll just
how old is she? She's in her 90s, I imagine, right?
Yeah, she's 92. But she's just sharp as a tack. Just as the problem is, she just can't get her move around very much anymore. So hopefully spend some time with her this summer. Anyway, there's a question from Demetrius here that you can address probably better than I can. I don't. He says should change global max. I guess it says should he change global max for player to a lower number.
All right, so that is kind of like an old school like optimizer question. I mean, you could use it in SaberSim. So normally the default settings are that you can, that you're not limiting the amount you could have of any player, like across the board.
Right.
And you could change that. Like you could say, I only want 60% max of anybody. Okay. Before you even run it. I don't do that kind of thing anymore, except like some sport, like some like fringy sports. Like I'll do that with soccer, maybe on a 3-game slate or something like that. If I just want to make sure I don't lock anybody in, something like that. But not for baseball. I'll build normally, and I very rarely would get like extraordinary amount of anybody anyway. So I wouldn't set that in advance. Now again, you shouldn't, it's not going to probably hurt you, if you set global max to 70% or something like that. You probably, listen, depending on the amount of lineups you're playing, you probably don't want in baseball more than 70% of anybody.
Yeah, unless it's a pitcher or something like that. It depends on how many lineups you're playing. If you're playing 20 in a 20 max, you could.
Then you can get away with it, especially with a good pitcher or whatever.
Yeah, but like 150, I don't think that there's basically no time where it would make any logical sense to have a hitter more than like 50% if you're playing like 150. It just doesn't make sense.
Let me look at something else. I had a couple of guys that were showing up with really kind of like heavy ownership, and I wanted to run these by you here. I mean, some places had these guys project like 35, 40%, like, maybe not that much. I thought the guy from the Tigers was going to be worse. Okay. That Parker, whatever his name was. Parker Meadows. Yeah, I guess not quite as bad. Okay.
The Tigers.
I don't know why I was getting him with such a big ownership projection in my stuff real quick. No, I only went 17. All right, that's fine.
Oh,
should be more.
He is. Let me just double check something. Is there? I must be. Okay, so this guy is talented, and he hasn't. When did he come back? He must have just come back from the injured list.
Okay.
He's going to be really popular on FanDuel. Let me just double check DraftKings too, because I would imagine that he's super cheap because he's just getting back. The Tigers, as look, Eric Froelich said it earlier on the show. They called them the best team in baseball. You can call them the best team in baseball you want. I do believe they're the best team in the American League. And I've stayed by that all season long. I think it's really silly when you start talking about teams being better than the Dodgers. I just don't understand exactly what you're trying to do.
I agree with that.
I don't mean it to be just a homer. I'm just saying, like, the Dodgers have literally like the best team in baseball on the injured list, and all they do is still win and then lead the league in scoring. And without pitching. Like they'll have all their guys back. But that's about. But anyway, but the problem with the one thing about Detroit that makes them tough to stack at times is they do play the game like it's a playoff series. Like they'll pinch hit, So that's the one thing that keeps me from stacking them maybe even a little more often than I do, even though I'm getting to.
Are the Dodgers the favorite to win the World Series right now?
Oh yeah,
they are. Okay.
I think it's actually like a stupid number. Like I think they start the years off at like plus 180 or something stupid.
I don't know what they are now. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, let's see. I'm actually curious about that. We have time as a baseball show.
I think they are plus 250 or something.
I think it'd be less than that. Probably like 200 at the most.
Okay.
Odds. The odds are always, and then just because it's LA and New York, it's always going to be Dodgers and Yankees too.
Yeah.
The truth is, so actually, they're plus 260 now, and the Yankees are plus 550. The thing that's weird about it is that I think these things are done really poorly because it's a lot easier to come out of the American League than it is to come out of the National League. It's just at this moment, it's like the Eastern Conference and Western Conference in the NBA. It's like they're just totally different worlds of talent. The National League just being so much tougher than the American League.
I was also
the Dodgers. Why are the Mets better than the Dodgers? Explain that to me, Eric. What makes the Mets better than the Dodgers, who are literally missing 15 All-Stars? Like not quite 15, but they're missing a lot. I would love to understand why someone thinks the Mets are actually better than the Dodgers. But hey,
I agree. F the Dodgers. That's it.
Get out of here.
Dude, the Mets are better because the Mets have David Peterson.
The Mets, yeah. I mean, the Dodgers haven't had like any of their pitchers healthy. They just signed Blake Snell to a whole long deal, and he hasn't even pitched. And they're still like the best team in baseball.
Where is Glasnow still on the team?
Yeah, Glasnow's on the team. He's hurt.
No, is he going to be back? You mean
Oh, so if you're saying right now, okay, there you go. That's fair. Wait. We'll see. I don't know. Like I never know with him. I never trust on him being healthy because it never is. But I like the idea of him as a pitcher more than I like him as a whatever as a team leaders. Let me see one thing really quick because their bullpen has been Dodgers bullpen has been garbage, but they do have like literally everybody on the list. And he says because of home runs, the Dodgers hit a lot more home runs than the Mets do. The Mets are not even like a good home run hitting team. They're actually like just a little above average. Tony will go to jail for gambling. What was he? This whole this thing. I'll tell you this right now. There is no way that man was gambling on anything. What was the point of it? Like, you know what I mean? He could gamble on a million other things, but what was he doing? Anyway, I think it's.
Do you know what like Ohtani would have to do to even suspend it? I mean, like
the guy's like the nicest person ever.
He's worth like $7 billion to like a Dodger.
He's got all the money in the world.
No, I just mean like as far as his like value to the league. I mean, like.
Oh yeah. No, he's. It's crazy because I've even said I'll throw in the towel on the Aaron Judge thing. Like I don't really care. I don't even think I need to throw in the towel. I think it's getting closer by the day. Every day Ohtani plays and every day Judge plays. I mean, like, but what Judge is doing is so out of this world. I don't think we should really call like Ohtani a better hitter than Judge. Just say Judge is a better hitter. When Ohtani starts pitching again, we'll call him the better.
When does that happen?
What's that?
When is he going to start pitching again?
He's pitching. He's been. They haven't given him an exact date. At least they haven't as of anything I picked up over the weekend. But he's been like doing bullpen sessions on the mound and pitch and simulations and stuff like that. So he's actually like.
Oh, so they're planning on it for the season?
What's that? So
they're planning on it for the season?
Yeah. The thing that's weird is if everybody was healthy, as good as a pitcher as he is, and by the way, the guy like was top 5 Cy Young voting his last couple of years, but that was the American League. I'm not even sure where he fits in with them healthy. Yamamoto's basically been like the nuts in baseball. You've got Blake Snell and a huge contract in Tyler Glasnow if they're all healthy. Is he really? Maybe he's our 4th or 5th starter. I don't know.
Well, Yamamoto didn't scare me too much last night.
He had a bad game. It's going to happen sometimes. He hasn't had very many of them.
Well,
I think he wanted the Yankee. You know what? It was a rough weekend for New York sports, and he wanted to feel good. He wanted to make somebody feel good. He's
and also considering. I mean, I think the Giants are literally live to win 0 games this year.
The Giants?
The football Giants.
Oh, the football Giants. I was like, wait, what's going on? Yeah, like I actually I don't know exactly what direction they're ever going.
Well, I mean, if they really, there's rumors they might get Aaron Rodgers or whatever, but if they have really legitimately Tommy DeVito as their quarterback,
I'm not sure that that's it. Just for what it's worth, there's nothing Aaron Rodgers does well anymore because he refuses to hang on to the football. So I don't really.
He does well enough to squeak out 3 games.
Yeah, he's a better quarterback than Tommy DeVito. I'll give you that.
Right. I'm telling you, the Giants are live for like 0. The only thing, they have 1 game against like the Saints that they might have a chance to win. It's like,
getting a lot of Dodger hate. This is so weird because we've always been like everybody hates the Lakers. I'm used to that my whole life, but like the Dodgers haven't really because they weren't like this big powerhouse and whatever. They always are like the best team that doesn't win the title. And now it's just everybody just freaking hates us, which is just bizarre. And it's funny because people say,
welcome to my world, right?
That's your world. That's Yankees world. That's what I was gonna say. They just go after it. I'm just curious, I mean, and it's true their bullpen has been garbage, but you can't say their bullpen is garbage because the guys they actually have would make up an awesome bullpen. Like they just don't have any of them healthy. So
go Tigers. Okay, I'm down with that, Rody.
I picked the Dodgers and Tigers. I already have plans to go to the World. I have the me and you bet sheets. I have the me and you thing with.
You know what, we set it up last year, but we we were, our bankrolls were thin. We couldn't really make it work.
Yeah, and then I had a little my own thing going on at the time. Remember, it was unfortunate timing. I'll put it that way.
No, definitely.
And the tickets did get out of this world.
That was ridiculous. I mean, well, there's something really, really different about New York versus anywhere else as far as tickets go, especially like Yankees and the Knicks specifically. Even the difference between the Knicks and even the Nets is like literally it's just amazing. You know what I mean? Like how much ticket costs. And you see the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals it's like face value. Pacers against freaking OKC. You get like tickets for the whole series for the price of getting like 1 game for a Knicks game. It's like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's really nuts. Especially, I mean, you saw what happened for those courtside seats. They sold for what? Like I think it was like 550,000 each.
Oh my god.
6. I mean, I'm just like, no, I don't care what level of life. I don't care if I was Elon. Like I'm not just spending $500,000 on a ticket to a game for each ticket. So that's 1.1 million for 2. It's nuts. It's really nuts. The only way you do it is if you're like a celebrity and it's actually like benefiting you to keep your name in the news or whatever. I cannot understand anything else. Anyway, back to the baseball slate. It's pretty, we did get the Twins lineup in, and we got the Mets lineup in. And let's see. I don't have it. I have it. I didn't know it's in. I just haven't seen it. Okay, here we go. Let's just see what's different. Lindor, Nimmo.
Oh, you know what? I was just reminded that we got Russell Wilson at quarterback for the Giants, which means they're probably going to still have 0 wins. So,
right. Yeah, I'm not sure how much better that is. Yeah, so the Mets lineup. Okay, so Jared Young is batting 5th, and he's 2,500. But he's also first base eligible. So I'm curious how popular he could possibly be with Pete Alonso if you're going to stack the Mets, probably being one of the guys you'd want to stack. But he's 2,500 on DraftKings, and I wouldn't have an issue with taking a shot or two at that. I do think there's pinch hit risk, but that's And I said Dustin May, you never know. You don't know which one you're going to get yet. Super talented. Just he does have the blowups in him for sure. Your bullpen is your bullpen. What does that mean? Our bullpen is our bullpen. Literally 9 guys on the injured list in the bullpen. That means nothing. And it will be our downfall. Well, okay. Well, let's ask everybody who was shut out in the playoffs last year.
Kevin, are you going to make it out there and all this to Vegas? I know Eric's going. Are you going to at least go play the main at least? I'll talk to you about that another time, I guess.
I'm also going to throw out that bullpens in baseball don't matter this time of the year. In fact, pitching doesn't even matter. You know what happens? Because when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018, I think 3 of their starting pitchers and their top 2 relievers weren't on their team until the trade deadline. So if you're competitive, it doesn't matter if you're willing to do whatever. So those things don't matter. It's just the best,
All right, so we just did a redo of everything because there's actually couple ownerships I didn't like. So I just redid everything just for the hell of it. And now I'm getting, let's start with FanDuel. Kevin. 44% Twins, 37% Dodgers, then 33% Mets, 32% Tigers. So again, pretty standard stuff, I think. And then in the who's out? Did lineups come out for some games for something?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They came out for Minnesota and the Mets. Might be another one out that's just come out recently, but
yeah. So I oh my God, all these guys are out. Jeffers and Royce Lewis and Harrison Bader all out. Huh?
Not sure why they were projected in. This is the Twins thing. So this is what's gonna drive people crazy with the Twins. They have oh my God, why are they so cheap? Oh, they have this and that. They'll swap. They'll switch it around. They'll bring in the righties if a lefty comes in. Like they've got plenty, as you just mentioned. There's a ton of guys on the bench. It's really hard to stack teams like the Twins. So it has me a little bit nervous. Although a little better this year than it was last year because you have two switch hitters in there with Brooks Lee and Willie Castro. Castro was the only one there last year. Well, Brooks Lee came at the end of the year, but guys like Cody Clemens, who you'll find in your stacks most likely, at least a little bit because he'll be low owned. Matt Wallner, there is a realistic chance that those guys could get pinch hit for. Just worth shouting out there. All right.
Well, so all of a sudden I'm getting all this Contreras. Oh, because I had Jeffers probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to redo that, I guess. Let's see. Let's go back to build 4. So who's in for the Twins instead of those guys then?
Well, the guys I just named, Wallner, Cody Clemens.
Oh, yeah, let me just see. So Jeffers is out. Bader is out. Royce Lewis is out. France is in. Brooks Lee is in. Cody Clemens, you said that he's in. And Christian Vasquez. Okay, yeah. So he is in. And what other one just came in? Just the Twins, right?
The Mets.
The Mets came in.
Yeah, that's talking about the Jerry John batting fifth.
He's there, I imagine not against the Dodgers, right? Oh no, he's in. Yeah, all those guys look like they're in. The same guys have projected, so that's good. So let me rebuild this and see what this looks like.
And I imagine the Dodgers would throw out Rushing today as the catcher, not Will Smith, but you never know. Like the Dodgers have like a couple of guys you really don't know who's going to play. I don't know why they don't keep playing this Hyesung Kim. This guy's awesome, and he's one of our products too.
One of these days, Ephra, I want to talk to you about that thing you went to, the Berkey thing out in Vegas. When you first said that you went to do that, I thought you were kind of almost trolling. Like I didn't really think that it was something that people did.
What is
it?
Yeah,
but I'm curious because I know they're not. I don't know what they're doing. And yeah, Berkey, the OnlyFans people, not OnlyFans, not OnlyFans. Whatever the hell they're freaking called, whatever it is, the only whatever podcast. They ran like some live poker boot camp or something like that, and I think he went to it a couple of years ago. Be interesting, and I think he gave it some good reviews actually.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what happens. Because I know they don't tend to do the podcast anymore. I think they just wound it down or something. I don't know what it was, what's all about. Why that is the case.
Yeah,
just not do it anymore.
It's so weird. Like I'm going back because I'm going to the end of June to Vegas or like the beginning of July. Like I'll play the main event, but I'll probably play like a couple other events. I realize it's been so long since I played poker. Like the only times I ever had like a shot clock when I was playing poker was like if you were going like if I wanted one of those special seats to like the filming stuff in London or whatever. And it's like all these things that are just so different than anything I ever used to do. I'm just wondering if it's going to affect me at all.
There's a clock of some kind.
Just everything. I don't know which tournaments have the clock, which ones don't. I don't know how it's like. I just don't know what's happening. So I look at even the registering online. You have to have your WSOP account, and you can register through there. But you can also have to go to the cage. Do I have to go to the cage also? I don't know all the details. I just have to know that I have to like get there early and make sure I figure out these things. He says they lost the property where they did the boot camp, filming and podcasts.
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they got evicted. So OnlyFans content here over baseball play. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you know what? There's worse things in the world, but that's from Rody. All right, I would love to get the rest of these lineups in. I'm nervous, man, because I'm leaving in like 35 minutes, and I guess I'm gonna have to bring my computer and try to hotspot from the road.
But I will tell you that it's not that it's easy. but SaberSim has gotten a little better with the ability to do mobile.
Really?
You could try it. Don't don't yell at me if whatever. But
I definitely won't yell at you. But
yeah,
I don't know about that.
But it is a little better. I'm telling you.
I think I probably should have figured out. My friends say that it's like you could do it on an iPad. I never understood the meaning of an iPad. I was using a little computer. Like I don't get it. But anyway. But yeah, I think that I really like the Angels. The Angels Cincinnati from the early games for me. The Dodgers and the Minnesota with nothing unusual there. And then Detroit in the middle. But I do like. I don't mind your Mets idea at all against the Dodgers tonight. For what it's worth.
Okay, so new exposures on DraftKings. Ooh, okay, all right. Now we're in there. So now we have Flaherty number 1, and then Severino number 2.
Flaherty, okay. Severino, okay,
sure. And then Joe Ryan, then Brady Singer, then Tyler Anderson on the DraftKings.
Yeah.
And then hold on, let me go back to the stacks. Yeah, this is definitely going to change when these Dodger lineups come in. I think. Well, how much could it change? I mean, I only have one team left to choose from. And it's still the Mets. Mets, A's, okay. Ooh, Padres. That's a new one. Okay,
that's different.
Padres showing up there. Eagles. Do you use SaberSim on mobile?
Let's see what he says. Mobile is easy. How many lineups are you doing with the mobile? I'm telling you, I can't even get it. I don't even like using DraftKings. I'll just say one thing about the Padres that if you wanted to feel like a little bit better, it's pretty big sample size against Logan Webb. They haven't hit any have had no power against him, but they've hit the shit out of him in general. For what it's worth, like this is some of the worst numbers I've seen against a pitcher who's as good as Webb is. They're literally team average in 188 at bats is 314. That's crazy.
By the way, I'll tell you something else, and I don't want to get into this because we'll get out of here in a minute.
Yeah,
like there's a couple of kind of again, you, me, Kevin, Efro, like maybe a couple of other guys in here, whatever. Like we remember like what happened to poker, like kind of sort of out of nowhere, but not really.
Yeah.
You know, like first party poker, and then whatever. You could kind of feel like some weird shit was happening. You know, I didn't expect it to all collapse in one thing, but I mean, I'll just say that there's been a couple of things that have happened in the last couple of days that have not been too thrilling for me.
DFS.
Yeah, the one thing that we talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, which is a little. Listen, by itself, whatever, but it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
Then the thing with DraftKings no longer basically taking PayPal and Venmo.
Yeah, that's a little.
That's not good.
Yeah.
And again, in and of itself, it's whatever, but combined with the other thing, and then you have regulation was passed in Illinois today that was completely boggles the mind. Like sports gambling legislation where they want to initiate like a 50-cent tax on every bet.
I saw that.
Every way, it's like the ultimate, like people have no idea how gambling works, like trying to make gambling regulations.
Right.
Like, so all these things like happening at the same time, I'm not too thrilled with that. I don't know what it means really,
right?
But like, it's kind of annoying. I'll just say that I'm not going to keep a big balance on right now.
I totally get that. I think I'm having a little bit.
I don't like any of those things that I just described.
I mean, you know, for me, it took me years of like being comfortable. I only got comfortable when it was like, okay, it was so established and I've seen it, you know what I mean? Like, but it was at first I was like, do not leave a big, large balance on there.
Yeah.
I didn't until,
until it became harder to put money back on. I mean, like,
yeah, well, that's true too. Until my PayPal got shut down. All right, well, we can get out of here. I have to pop in the shower and change, and then hopefully get the rest of the lineups in. We'll see how it goes. Anything? What else is happening? Is any other? So how far are they at Roland Garros? How far are we into the tournament?
I think they're in the final 16. I think, right, or whatever.
Okay. So is there like, but you can't really have like good DFS action unless there's like what?
No, it's already done. It's already done. Right.
But I heard they said somebody mentioned. I don't know. I read something on Twitter that said something about there being like big tournaments for the U.S. Open.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The U.S. Open in tennis?
Yeah.
Well, they're huge at the beginning.
Really? I never knew.
No. What I mean is that for all the tennis stuff, at the beginning of the tournaments, when they're like 100-game slates or whatever.
No, but do they have like 100K for first? Because that's what
I don't know, but yeah, maybe they have one with like 100 for first, maybe at least 50. But yeah, at the beginning for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
But yeah, so we have so again, just my schedule, every schedule. So it's basically just baseball for the next couple of days.
Yep.
Today and tomorrow. Wednesday is the actually the NHL. I think Stanley Cup Finals, and then Thursday. Well, so this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So this is what we're gonna do. So Monday we'll do baseball. 12 and 5:30. Tuesday baseball. 12. Wednesday we'll do baseball and then golf. And then I might even do a live sweat, whatever, because of probably my last day before I'm gone for a while. And then so then Thursday we'll do like a 12 o'clock or whatever. We'll preview the NBA finals.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna put up my UFC thing, and then I'm going away for like a week. I'll definitely get in there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna really be able to play. You know what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna preload. Well, I'll play the golf. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna pre-enter the UFC thing for Saturday, because you can always pre-enter before you're in a place where you can't play.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pre-enter that, but everything else I'm not gonna like pre-enter anything else. But I'll try to, again, if I have time, I'll fire some projections up for whatever is going on. And you'll see me get in there, and I definitely am gonna post from Sunday when I'm at the French Open. Definitely gonna snap a picture of that and get in there. But yeah, but until then, we let's get after with the baseball, and hey, watch for the lineup changes tonight.
Yeah, the Dodgers just popped out just a second.
Dodgers popped out. Anything
is a little different, yeah. And as I mentioned, that Kim will be playing tonight, which I was saying that was the big.
As opposed to who? So
so the ones who I saw projected. I don't know why. Again, I just.
What about Mookie? Is Mookie in?
They're guessing. So Conforto still in there. Mookie is not in.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So that's what happens basically, which is weird.
So Mookie is out. What about Edmund? Is he in?
Edmund's in, yeah, and he's not batting 9th. He's batting 7th.
Edmund is in.
And Conforto getting his revenge will be batting 6th.
Conforto getting his revenge. Oh, there it is. Mookie Betts and Will Smith are out.
Yeah, I don't know who thought Will Smith was playing, but I don't know where that one.
I don't know. He's in my lineups. Yeah, so I have plenty of time to adjust it for the Dodgers stuff before even the first game.
Beautiful.
So yeah, all right, sounds good, guys. I will